Once upon a time, there was a young and beautiful woman named Maria. She was married and had 2 children. In a fit of rage, she took both of her children down to the river and threw them into the water. Once she realized what she had done, she desperately tried searching for them with no luck. She passed away, never seeing her children again. Now her spirit wanders the earth, still searching for her children, crying and screaming, "Ay, mis hijos, oh my children." So if you wander away by yourself, La Llorona will take you and you will never see us again, my parents would say. Yes, I know it sounds a little scary, but this was a traditional folk tale told in every Hispanic culture. I guess to scare us into behaving? No one knows the original tale, but this is very common among different folk tales throughout the world. So now, what is a folk tale? Folk tales are typically the better known style of storytelling. They are short stories that have been told orally from generation to generation. Like the example at the beginning of the video, these stories often serve to teach a lesson. Folk tales generally have no known author as they are passed down orally. Folk tales often share common elements. Most folk tales usually begin with "once upon a time" or "long time ago." They have to do with normal, everyday people and usually have a problem to solve or a lesson to learn. Most folk tales end with a happy ending. Some famous examples of folk tales are The Three Little Pigs, Sleeping Beauty, The Boy Who Cried Wolf, and Pinocchio. Myths are believed to be the first type of storytelling. Myths are a short story that explain why something is the way it is. For example, why do giraffes have long necks? It is said that a long time ago, giraffes used to have short necks. Not wanting to constantly fight with elephants and antelopes for the lower leaves, they started stretching, trying to reach the leaves on the top of the tree. Eventually, after time, their necks grew so long that they no longer had to compete with other animals for food. Myths are made up of specific elements and characteristics. They are normally made up of god and goddesses instead of regular people. They come from different cultures and try to typically teach a lesson. Most stories also involve some kind of magical element. Some well-known examples come from Greek mythology. One such example would be the flight of Icarus. Having to escape from a labyrinth, Icarus' father built a pair of wings for Icarus out of wax and feathers to be able to fly away. His father warned him not to fly too close to the sun. The sun melted the wax on the wings and he plunged into the sea and died. The story teaches a lesson on having too much pride and not listening to your father. Fables, on the other hand, are short stories used to teach a moral or a lesson, often with animals taking human traits as main characters. The main elements of fables are that they are fictional stories, and they usually have no more than 2 or 3 characters. One such example is the story of the tortoise and the hare. In this story, a tortoise challenges a hare to a race. The hare gladly accepts because he is very arrogant about his speed. The hare takes a great leap early in the race. He then stops to nap and is passed by the tortoise, who wins the race. The moral of the story being that slow and steady wins the race. Not to be careless with your talent. Other examples include The Lion and the Mouse and The Ugly Duckling. After going over all 3 types of stories, the student should be able to recount stories and determine the central message through key details, explain how a character's actions contribute to the sequence of events, and finally identify what type of story is being read or heard.